Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the Assistance to Disabled Person camp which was held recently. We will discuss about this camp in recent context. We will discuss about the scheme known as AIDP, and we will also discuss the other initiatives which has been taken up by the government for the assistance of the disabled person. So let's start. Recently, the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment has virtually inaugurated an Assistant to Disabled Person camp for free distribution of assisted aid and devices to Divyangjan or Divyang. So this is the recent context that the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment has recently held inaugurated a camp which will provide the assisted aid and devices to the Divyangs or Divyang. So these words Divyangjan or Divyang are the Hindi words which means one with the divine body. So Divyang, which means the one with the divine body. The Prime Minister of India has decided that person with disabilities should no longer be referred to as disabled person or Viklang, someone with non-functional body parts. So if you actually look at the undercurrent behind such kind of thought is that if you call somebody Viklang, you are kind of giving them a mental state which make them they are not capable of doing things. On the other hand, if you call them Divyangjan or Divyang, it kind of reinforces the idea that they are very able and they can also live a very independent life. So this is something. So just remember the way we address something, the terminology, the word hold a very deeper meaning. So because of this, the Prime Minister of India has decided that no longer they would be called Viklang, but going forward Divyang or Divyangjan. So this is the thing. Recently the camp was inaugurated to provide them with assistance and the various devices which could aid them. The camp was organized by the Artificial Limbs Manufacturing Corporation of India, called as ALIMCO, which is located in Kanpur. In fact, this is the organization which is non-for-profit Central Public Sector Undertaking, which is CSPU, which is basically means it's a government undertaking, established in the 1972. So this organization has been working for quite some time now. It was established in 1972 and it works under the aegis of Department of Empowerment of Person with Disability. So this is the department which kind of have the jurisdiction over the ALIMCO. In fact, you must have heard about another scheme which is the Vyushri scheme. In that also, ALIMCO is the one which provide the aiding device to the elderly. So you can understand that ALIMCO is a non-for-profit organization which generally works in a their aim is to actually provide the low cost and affordable assistance and devices to the person with disability as well as the elderly who get various kind of hearing impairment, low vision and all these kind of things because of age. So this is something you need to know. Now let's move forward. Let's try to focus on the ADIP scheme, which is your Assistant to Disabled Person scheme. It is in operation since 1981, so this was established in 1981. The scheme follows the definition of various types of disability as given in the Person with Disability, Equal Opportunities Protection of Right and Full Participation PW Act of 1995. So there was a 1995 Act which was later replaced with the Rights of Person with Disabilities Act of 2016. This 2016 Act is more elaborative in its approach. It includes more disability as mentioned in the 1995 scheme the Act, and at the same time this particular Act gives effect to the Convention on Convention on Rights of People with Disability, which is a UN convention and India is a signatory to it. So in that regard, this is particularly important that ADIP actually follow the convention or the definition or the disabilities which are mentioned under the 2016 PWD Act. What is the objective? To assist the needy disabled person in procuring durable, sophisticated and scientifically manufactured modern standard aids and application that can promote their physical, social and psychological rehabilitation by reducing the effects of disability and enhance their economic potential. So this is the idea. behind the ADIP scheme, the objective is to provide them with the right to live with dignity, so that they could also live their life independently without being dependent on other. So the technology or the devices will come for their aid. Grant and aids are released to various implementing agencies, for an example, ALIMCO, the National Institution, Composite Regional Centers, District Disability Rehabilitation Centers, State Handicap Development Cooperation NGO. So the grant and aids, the grant which is allocated to this scheme is actually through the NGOs, through the ALIMCO, State Handicap Development Corporation, Rehabilitation Center. It is provided to them so that they could make it affordable or make it accessible to the disabled people, so that they could go and take the assistance and aids and devices for purchase and distribution of aids and assistive devices. So this is the major thing you need to know about ADIP scheme, the objective when it was formed, what kind of disabilities get covered under this, and also what is the mechanism of grants and aid. Now let's also see the other initiative of Government of India. So there is a Accessible India campaign, which is creation of accessible environment for people with disabilities. A nationwide flagship campaign for achieving universal accessibility that will enable PWDs to gain access for equal opportunity and live independently and participate fully in all respects of India in an inclusive society. So if you have seen that there are ramps, like apart from stairs there are ramps also, so that the people, for an example, who have impaired legs could also climb up. So this is the idea of creating an accessible environment where even the people with disability, so you have also seen in the crosswalks, for the blind people they create marks, so that they could feel it and then they could walk. So all these kind of things are part of Accessible India campaign, where we are creating an environment which makes it more accessible to people with disabilities, and overall we're going to create an inclusive society where everybody is cared for. Then we also have Deen Dayal Disabled Rehabilitation Scheme. Under the scheme, financial assistance is provided to NGOs for providing various services to people with disabilities like special schools, vocational training centers, community-based rehabilitation, preschool and early intervention. So what happened under the Deen Dayal Disabled Rehabilitation Scheme, the grant is provided to NGOs to carry out various functionalities like having schools, rehabilitation center, so that they could actually go ahead and be in touch with the people with disabilities and provide them with assistance. So this is the target of Deen Dayal Disabled Rehabilitation Scheme. Then we also have a National Fellowship for Students with Disability. It aims to increase opportunities for students with disability for pursuing higher education and grants 200 fellowship per year to students with disability. So the idea over here is that because they have, like, you have to create an inclusive society where even they could have an upgrade, or they could also have a social upliftment. In that regard, it is important that the enabling factors are included. To take consideration of this, a national fellowship is also in place, which provide fellowship to 200 fellows per year for the people who have the disabilities. So these are few schemes. Let's move forward and see the other initiatives also. Unique Disability Identification Project. So it aims to create a national database for PWDs and issuing unique disability identity card along with the disability certificate. So this is the idea. It will be like you will have an ID card which will make it possible for you to easily and effortlessly avail the various services. Once the project covers all the person with disability, UDID cards will be made mandatory for availing various government benefits. So it will kind of be, it will make it easier. You will not have to like really go and provide multiple certificate, multiple documents when you are trying to avail any kind of benefit. Also, it will kind of help in checking the fraud cases. So such kind of identification could be of use, and it is underway. We also have an assistant to disabled person for purchase, fitting of aids and appliance. We just read about the ADIP scheme, which also provide the same thing for fitting and purchase also. Like after the devices are made available for them, for fitting of aids is also available. Then there are also initiatives for mental health. So the person with disability and the social stigma or the kind of helplessness that they feels at time because of not being independent could create a lot of mental health issues. For that purpose, National Mental Health Program, which was launched in 1982 to improve the status of mental health in India. So overall mental health program talks about various sector, and it also includes the person with disabilities. Then there is a Kiran, which is Mental Health Rehabilitation Helpline for addressing mental health issues, coordinated by National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Multiple Disabilities, Tamil Nadu, and National Institute of Mental Health Rehabilitation, Madhya Pradesh. So Kiran is also a kind of a helpline where the people could go ahead and talk about the mental health issues, like if they are feeling very like depressed, or if they are having any kind of stress. So all these kind of things could be tackled in the Kiran, which is a helpline. So these are the various initiative. As a society, it is very important that we create an inclusive society, because if everybody is getting a right to equal opportunities, which is envisioned in our constitution. So Article 14 and Article 21 talk about right to life. Article 14 talk about the equal opportunity. So everybody should have an equal opportunity, and as well as Article 21 of Indian Constitution talk about life with dignity. So both of these article already kind of provide protection to the person with disabilities, which means that they should be given equal opportunities and their rights should be protected. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.